Hi everyone, this is Stephen with the Guardian Group of Alabama, and like most of you, the past couple of days I've been watching everything that's going on, and I've just watched a video of the president going on national TV claiming that what they're doing now is not political when it comes to guns, when it comes to gun registration and banning different types of weapons and stuff like that. Well, I've got news for you. It is political. It is political when you fly people from Newtown in Air Force One down to stand as a backdrop while they're thinking, through emotion and thinking irrationally because their children are being killed. And I've got all the sympathy in the world for people like that. I hate that they lost their child, but a crazed individual done that. So why take it out on law-abiding citizens? And that's the part of irrational thinking right there, that somehow the law-abiding citizens should suffer through all of it. Well, let me put this into place for you. If you're so strongly for things like this, the next time a criminal commits an act, whatever it may be, and the judge sentences him to say 15, 20 years in prison, why don't you go down there to the court and tell the judge you're willing to serve that time for him because it wasn't his fault? So you serve that time for him. I've asked this question repeatedly and not one person has agreed to do so yet. And I doubt there will be. Now, I've stated several times, people that think irrationally, they keep talking about people that cling to God and religion, and guns and things of that nature, how terrible people we are. But let me tell you something on the medical side of it. And I've said this and people sort of looked at me funny. People with irrational thinking, that in and of itself is a mental condition. It's because they use emotion to try to get across things and they're not thinking right. And actually, let me read you some stuff on this, and I'll try to post some of these links. A guy by the name of Albert Ellis, he was a psychotherapist, and he come up with rational emotive behavior therapy. And it says in this approach, irrational is used in a slightly different way than in general. Here, irrationality is defined as the tendency and leaning that humans have to act, emote, and think in ways that are inflexible, unrealistic, absolutist, and most importantly, self and social defeating and destructive. There's a lot of things on this that speaks about this. I posted before of clinical psychologists and stuff writing papers that basically go into a medical reason why these people think the way that they do. And after reading some of this stuff, one can only see that people that think that way, that think out of emotion, strictly out of emotional, irrational thoughts, irrational thought processes, they've got some kind of mental disorder. So they want to paint all of us as the ones with the problems when they themselves, according to everything that's written, according to everything you can find in psychiatry, psychology, and things of that nature, people that do that, they've got a problem. So, every time I hear this crap of saying this isn't political, and like I said, I'm going to post this link here and you can read it for yourself about people that think irrationally and things like that. But every time I hear this isn't political, this isn't political. Sure, it's political. You're trying to push an agenda. You're trying to hurt law-abiding citizens. You're trying to make them suffer and try to pay for the crimes of crazed individuals. Now, first of all, let's take being Sandy Hook is up there, and yes, you can tell this is a little bit different from the videos because right now I'm not being irrational. It's probably something I like to think. I'm simply pissed off because I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of being labeled some kind of extremist just because I support the Second Amendment. And this is crazy. When you're saying, when you got the president, and let's not even go into Joe Biden mouthing off some of his stupid comments, but saying this isn't political. It is political. They have an agenda. They are using this when you can prostitute yourself out, and that's exactly what it is. what these families are doing for a political agenda. When are they going to wake up? All these people that support this and support the ideas of socialism and basically what it's boiling down to, did they not understand that they too are going to live under that system? And I've said this many times before too. People do not understand laws. Laws do not stop anything. They are words printed on a piece of paper. They tell you that if you do this, there's a punishment for it. Criminals walk through them every day. It's the reason we got overcrowded in prisons right now, because they don't care that there's a law against it. Let's take the guy up in Newtown. First of all, he committed several felonies. Murder is already illegal. Wasn't supposed to do that. He done it. He stole all of his mom's firearms. You get into major things there when it comes to stolen firearms and things of that nature. There's already laws against that. He went into a school with firearms. He started shooting things up there. Several laws were broken. Several one. A universal background check wouldn't have stopped anything. None of the things that they have put in place or trying to put in place would have stopped one thing. You've got to understand, these people, they're crazy individuals. They're going to do it no matter what. There will never be a time in the United States history, I don't believe, that you're going to confiscate every firearm. And the thing about it, people that's for gun confiscation, they're not anti-gun. That's not their problem. They're not anti-gun. They just believe that only the government and a small elite few should have guns. Well, that turns into a dictatorship. And if you don't believe it, go live in Mexico. Go live in countries that have done the exact same thing that you're wanting now, because this is the type of system you're going to be living under when you finally destroy the Bill of Rights. When you take away the Second Amendment and take away people's right for personal and private defense. Isn't it going to be funny when, in a few years it could possibly be you being arrested for defending yourself, on felony self-protection, self-defense charges, and you serve 10 years for simply defending yourselves? What you people are doing are giving more to criminals. All right? You're hurting yourself. This is irrational thought, yet again coming into play. So basically, we've got a bunch of people running around that should be medicated, trying to make decisions for everybody, and they're not understanding they're going to live under the same system. All right? You've got to understand, and everybody says, "Oh, I hate to bring this subject up." Well, it's getting time to bring this subject up. Just like Hitler. All right? Everybody voted for Hitler. Everybody, yeah, this is good. This is good. Do you see what happened? Do you see what happened? If not, there's something wrong with you to start with. So all of you out there, you're saying, anti-gun, anti-gun. No, you're not anti-gun. You're anti-rights. You believe that military and police and the government should have guns, and that everybody else's rights should be restricted. Well, obviously you don't have sense enough to understand the Constitution, so why are you trying to tell me what it means? This is getting serious, people. All across the United States now, we've had states pass unconstitutional laws, banning weapons, confiscating weapons, and all these things that you're seeing. Are you going to be okay with, losing your Fourth Amendment right? Are you going to be okay with that? So I can just bust through your door in the middle of the night and come in, no warrant, no anything, and do what they want? See, because now it's not affecting you. And this is what I'm saying, irrational thought, is because these people are giving no thought on this. So are they going to be okay with that? Because they're going to live under this same system. The ones that so far it right now, when it finally does start tapping on their shoulder and start coming into their world, they think that everything's going to be fine. Let's do this. Guess what? You're going to live under the same system. Go down to Cuba. Go spend some time there. Go down to Mexico. Go to Iran. Everybody that's embracing all this stuff, guess what? If you want to embrace all this stuff and you're so far all these rights, these human rights, guess what? Go to a country in the Middle East. Proclaim that you're gay. Guess what? They kill them. They kill anybody that's homosexual. They don't like them. They don't stand for it. Women, guess what? All that fight since the 60s is done. You got no more rights. None. So you can walk around in a burqa, and you better not go outside your house unless your husband's out there. And then if you get raped or something like that, guess what? That's your fault. You're going to be punished for being raped. So all of you for this socialist type stuff, do you honestly, have you thought this out? I'm going to say no, you haven't. Because there's not one single law-abiding citizen that does the acts that went on in Newtown. That was done by a criminal, a crazed individual. So stop with this blaming everybody else with this problem. Stop blaming law-abiding citizens with this problem. This is getting ridiculous. Let's go back to personal responsibility. One person done it. He didn't live through it, so, he can't be punished. And, maybe that's what it is. You want to punish somebody. Well, guess what? The person that done the killing, that's the person responsible, not law-abiding citizens. And I'm getting sick of it. It is completely insane. It's completely mind-boggling to read some of the comments on some of these posts that's being made, to watch some of these videos, to watch the news, and all you hear is the same mumbo-jumbo crap saying this isn't political. It's very political. And just like sheep to the slaughter, a lot of you are buying into it. So guess what? When those rights are removed, you better hope and pray that you can really accept the system put into place where you have no more rights. None. I mean, you sit here now saying that, voter ID goes against their rights. You can't demand that somebody show an ID to vote, but yet you want registration for gun owners? You want to go through a more advanced system of collecting names and stuff, and somehow that's not against somebody's rights? I would say you've got a mental defect. Because logic says if it's if it's that way for one, it's that way for the other. See, these are people with these kind of problems, and yes, I do say they're mental problems, because you think it's okay for you to do it, but not okay for somebody else. That's a double standard, and that doesn't pass the logic test. So yeah, all these people that's buying into this, God, I feel for you, because you're gullible, and it's I don't know what it's going to take. I honestly don't know what it's going to take to wake people up to see what is being destroyed right in front of you. Stop being a blind sheep. Stop being led around with a hook in your nose, being led wherever. Think about this. You're going to be under the same system that you're fighting for. You're not going to get exempt. At that point, everybody's in it. You've got a few that dictates to the rest. If you don't believe me, like I said, go visit the Middle East. Go down to Mexico, where a law-abiding citizen can't have a gun. And the only ones that does are the criminals and the drug cartels that come in and not only slaughter innocent civilians, but slaughter entire police departments. But yet, you want to blame somebody like me that has a hunting rifle, or people, that has a pistol, or something that's never committed a crime, that's never shown any aggressive toward the outside world whatsoever, and somehow we're the bad guys. Are you really that naive? In this day and age, you give more rights to criminals. That's basically what you're supporting. Open your eyes, people. This is getting to a point now to where it's just complete bizarro world. It's complete stupidity. It's complete insanity. And there's a lot of people, I'm afraid, that are getting sucked into this, that if they thought rationally and with logic, they could see everything completely different. But that irrational thought has got them wrapped up so tight that, they're just following right along with it. Right along with it. What's it going to take, people? I'm going to end this rant now, but I tell you, it's getting sickening. It's getting sickening to watch people prostitute themselves out. And that's, like I said, that's exactly what they're doing for a political agenda. Wake up, people. Wake up. Thanks, guys. See you soon.